Hey folks, and welcome back to Hard Ticket. You're listening to part 2 of our 10th episode special, 10 Top 10s. The premise where Tristan and I agreed upon 5 top 10 topics and listed our respective 10s for each. If you haven't heard part 1, hang back and give it a listen. We cover our top 10 favorite movies we've watched together in our lengthy tenure as pals, and our top 10 movies we've yet to find suitable matchups for in this movie matchup podcast. Now we're on to our last 3 topics, so listen, give us a like, and stay tuned for more Hard Ticket episodes already in production.
Decide. It's a hard ticket at the movies.
All right, coming up next on 10 Top 10s, we have our top 10 bathroom scenes.
Potty humor.
I didn't want to just do top 10s that were movies. I wanted to get a little more specific and have some fun.
Yeah.
In the potty.
The potty cast.
I don't know. This got me thinking a lot about bathroom scenes, and I know you particularly struggled with getting 10 scenes in your top 10.
Yeah, I kind of fudged some stuff here. Oh my God, I just realized I put The Shining twice. That's fine. Anyways, so yeah, originally your list had like a bunch of like really specific things like movie monsters and stuff like that.
Right.
And I liked those, but I wanted to do something maybe a little more like personal to us and then also maybe a little broader. And then eventually I was like, we got down to it and I was like, well, we need to keep one of your like really
one
specific
hyper-specific
ones. So we did the bathroom scenes because we thought it'd be kind of funny. So I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'll go first. I'm going to say A Nightmare on Elm Street. The bathroom scene with Freddy Krueger's little claw hand coming out of the tub, out of the bubble bath in between the girl. I can't remember her name. She's important too. She's like an important character.
Yeah.
And I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, great iconic shot and makes you terrified to take a bubble bath.
That is a good shot. Yeah, that shot came up. I was trying to do some research. This is a very specific thing where there's not a lot of people who are like, yeah, this is the top 10 bathroom scenes. Well, there's not like a canon for this or anything.
Yeah. There's only one movie that for sure ranks top.
Right, and it's not even my number 1.
Oh, shit. No pun intended.
My number 10, I actually took from our namesake movie, Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
That's
see?
good.
There's going to be a lot of that noise, I think, in this top 10.
That's a good one.
There is a snake that has been experimented on that gets loose at the very beginning of Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And I think they say, like, if it bites you, it gives you cancer or something like that.
Yeah, it's been infected with, like, radioactive cancer or something.
It's, like, mutated.
Yeah.
And towards the very end, when it looks like one of our protagonists has finally killed the last of the evil mooks.
The goons.
The goons. She's, like, sitting by the toilet, having just shot somebody, I think.
Yeah.
And she, like, blows her nose, or she, like, wipes blood off of her hands or something. I don't know. It's almost poignant. And it flushes the toilet, and it explodes, and this, like, snake puppet juts out, and it's the fakest, most brilliant Chekhov's gun.
Oh, it's so funny.
The whole movie.
It's so funny. And then they shoot it with a rocket launcher, right?
Yeah, she shoots it with just a pistol like twice, and it like hits it, but it doesn't do anything. And then her boyfriend comes in, like tumbles in and shoots a rocket at it, and it blows up. Just the head blows up, and it's a scene to be beheld. That's for sure.
Yeah, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, great film. It's the inspiration for the name of this podcast. We like hemmed and hawed over names for a while, and I think it was you. Was it you who said Hard Ticket?
I suggested it as a joke, and you said,
and I said, yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. You suggested it as a joke, and I was like, that's the one. That's what we're gonna call it. Hard Ticket. All right, my number 9 pick. Okay, so I wrote down The Shining twice, but one of them is not The Shining. This is the one that is not The Shining.
Okay.
It's Full Metal Jacket. It's when Private Gomer Pyle kills Gunnery Sergeant something Hartman and kills himself in one of probably the film's most famous moment, honestly.
Yeah, one of them. I think that rant that he does at the beginning.
No, this one's more famous.
Okay, no, you're right.
This is like the turning point in Full Metal Jacket at the end of like their boot camp and stuff. And Gomer Pyle has had enough of the abuse from Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, so takes matters into his own hands, folks.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think Full Metal Jacket was on my initially on my list for top 10 movies that don't have current matchups, and I was like, no, we could find something.
Oh, yeah, we'll find something.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good scene. My number 9 comes from The World's End, where Gary King goes to the bathroom at an early pub on their crawl and finds out the secret that the townspeople have been replaced by blanks. They're not robots, because robot means slave. But there's a pretty cool fight scene where like he literally knocks one of their heads off on the sink, and you realize that they're bleeding this like blue ink. And then his friends come in and they're like, what the hell's going on? And the robots, the blanks, get up and they have this really cool fight scene. It's an Edgar Wright fight scene, so of course it's cool. And lots of fun camera moves, lots of creative cuts, lots of fake oneer kind of stylism. It's really cool. It's a great scene. Next.
It's funny. I haven't seen it's The World's End. Is that what you said?
Have you not seen The World's End?
No, I've seen it, but I was like probably like a sophomore in high school. It's been years. Yeah. My next pick is from A Clockwork Orange. It's the scene with Alex where he's singing, he's whistling, singing in the rain.
Oh man,
we get a perfect melding of two great films. He's singing in the rain in the tub after he's been taken in by a person that he victimized earlier. He's confined to a wheelchair, and the victim, he's like an author, realizes that the young man he's taken in is the person who assaulted him earlier in the movie because he was singing in the rain while he was doing it. So Alex's love of that particular tune, which music figures prominently in the film, and that his love of that particular tune is what leads to him being outed. And
damn, that's a good pick.
Lots of really good bathroom scenes in Kubrick movies. That's my second Kubrick on the list. I have another one. I've already told you. It's The Shining. Kubrick had the thing with bathrooms, and I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, that's great. I totally forgot about that. Great scene. My number 8 comes from Shrek.
Yeah. Is it when he bursts out of the outhouse?
Yes, but that's what everybody remembers from that scene. The opening of Shrek is him recounting a very traditional fairy tale and saying, "What a load of," and then he flushes the toilet and he rips a page out of the book and it is implied to wipe his ass with it, which is just like, I told you earlier when talking about Fantasia, like there's been this animosity from a lot of people towards Disney. This is like one of the most direct references to it. And it's the first scene in Shrek right before the first note of All Star hits on the slam of the outhouse.
That's awesome.
It's well done, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's super memorable. My next pick is a scene from Mulholland Drive, another movie that we've talked about. It's when Betty and Rita meet in the bathroom. So in the film, Rita, they call her Rita. She's a dark-haired woman. Right. Kind of stumbles into Betty's apartment and doesn't know who she is. She has amnesia. And her first thing to do is she gets into the shower and Betty comes in and meets her. And they have this moment where they're like, oh my gosh, and she names her Rita because there's a Rita Hayworth. She's on a poster. I think I can't remember what the movie is now. I'm blanking on it. But anyway, it's a really great scene. Every scene from Mulholland Drive is like a dream or a nightmare. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. Bathroom, there's like a transformation thing going on there.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah.
Again, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
2 great picks in a row. Well, maybe you got a good list after all. My number 7 comes from The Big Lebowski.
Yep.
Opening scene of The Big Lebowski, where he's, well, not the opening scene, but one of the first scenes, sort of our introduction to the character. He's in the bath.
Drinking his White Russian.
The goons show up. and they, he's not in the bath in this scene. He's just.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I'm thinking of another scene because
there are
more than one.
a couple choices in this. In this scene, they drag him into the bathroom and shove his head down the toilet. And they say, "Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the fucking money, shithead?"
Give him a swirly.
And then he says, "It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look." It's like such a good scene. Really establishes him as just this kind of like,
Joker.
Go with the he quips, but he's also like he's fine even though he just got assaulted. He grabs his shades out of the toilet after that and like flicks the water off of him. It's great establishing scene.
Yeah, that's a fun one. My number 6 pick is Casino Royale, the opening fight scene that establishes Daniel Craig as the new James Bond. When we were living with one another, I did a Bond-a-thon. I watched all the James Bond movies in preparation for No Time to Die. That's what it's called.
Yep.
I just remembered. My brother-in-law is like a huge Bond fan. I had never seen a James Bond movie. And when you're a movie fan and you haven't seen someone's favorite movie, you get hit with the, what? You like movies and you haven't seen my favorite movie? Or all 20-some f***ing James Bond movies? Anyways, so I watched all the James Bond movies. I like some of them, but one of my favorites was Casino Royale, which I got to see. We got to see it in a movie theater. They played it right before No Time to Die.
That's
and it's so awesome. And the opening scene is so awesome.
Yeah. It's great. I actually had Casino Royale as an honorable mention on this list.
Yeah.
Not for the opening fight scene, but for the scene where James Bond confronts his love interest later on after she's killed somebody and she's just lying in the shower with her clothes still on and like is talking about how there's blood on her hands.
Right.
Bond comforts her. One of the most human scenes I think we ever see James Bond in. Yeah,
definitely. That era of Bond starts to take cues from like Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is like the first Bond movie to kind of make him into a person. And ironically starred George Lazenby, his only role as James Bond. Watch Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's one of the best James Bond movies.
Now you're an expert on James Bond.
Now I can be like, what? You haven't seen James Bond?
All right, my number 6 is Flushed Away. The opening scene from Flushed Away. And you know why?
Because is technically the whole movie in a bathroom? Because it's like
in a sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not seen Flushed Away since I was a kid. And this scene is still vivid in my memory. He's like trying to trick the sewer rat to jumping in the toilet by saying it's a jacuzzi so that he can just flush him. But the sewer rat like flips the script on him and flushes him. And I remember watching that and seeing all the pipes. And I was like, this is really where my poop goes? It was super interesting to see all those pipes and stuff. And I don't know, it's also the biggest bathroom that we've talked about so far. From the perspective of these rats, oh yeah, it's big.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I had to say it. I think people might have expected it to come up in this conversation as well. So here it is. I put it on mine. I know it's not on yours.
It is not on my mind. I don't even know if I've even watched Flushed Away, like all the way through. My next pick is from Pulp Fiction. It's the scene where Vincent bites it. John Travolta comes out of the bathroom and Bruce Willis is standing there with his like Uzi and just sprays metal into him and kills him. And it's like one of those oh shit moments like in a movie where you're just like, oh my god, like somebody, like you thought he was the main character and he's dead. And it's like, and we've already talked about Pulp Fiction and everything, but it's a great scene. There's a lot of bathroom talk in Pulp Fiction.
There is
a lot of like Jules being like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, like just people just there's a guy in the bathroom when they come in and shoot all those goons and everything. Lots of bathrooms in the film, and it's just really funny to see John Travolta walk out and just he's like, oh, you got a gun on me.
Yeah.
Got my gun.
No, that's a good one. That was also like in my honorable mentions, I believe. My number 5 comes from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. A scene where a man pulls a gun on the titular ugly, Tuco, and he's in a bathtub, just like taking a bubble bath. And the man's like, finally, I got you right where I want you. And Tuco like shoots him between his legs. Like he just pulls out a gun from the bath water and shoots him. I don't even remember. It's been since high school since I've seen that movie. I don't remember in what context it occurs in the narrative, but it's a great scene.
Yeah, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Good movie. Yeah, that's great. That's a fun pick. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good one. My next one is a little unconventional. It's Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd. So not the original Dumb and Dumber, because everybody's going to be like, oh, it's where he takes all the laxatives and it's the scene where I think it's Lloyd smears chocolate all over the walls and Bob Saget walks in and he's just like, there's shit everywhere. There's shit all over the walls. There's shit all over the mirror. There's shit in my house. My house is full of shit. He's just freaking out. It's the funniest freak out.
Oh my God.
I watched it when I was 7. No, I'm just kidding. I felt like a 7-year-old watching it and laughing at it, but it's really just funny for Bob Saget's reaction.
His reaction.
Which feels authentic.
I don't know anything about that movie except for that scene. Because of you, I'm pretty sure.
I talk about it all the time.
God, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to watch that one. My number 4 is from Mission Impossible Fallout. That fight scene between Henry Cavill, Tom Cruise, and basically a random guy, but they destroy this bathroom fighting him. And there's like no score. It's all just like the hits on the tile and the breaking of glass, and it's intense. And it's great, choreographed excellently. It's probably, it comes up in the conversation when I was researching bathroom scenes specifically. It comes up a lot. And it's definitely on my list. How about you?
It's not on my list. But I do love Henry Cavill cocking his arms.
That's the scene.
Yeah. My next pick is Perfect Blue. When the main character is screaming under the water. This is a shot that was, I don't want to say stolen, homaged.
Sure. Yeah.
In
whatever.
Black Swan, which Perfect Blue and Black Swan are one of our potential matchups. Obviously. I think that's an obvious matchup. I just like the scene. I think it's beautifully animated. It's emotionally resonant. And obviously it's an image that was iconic enough for Aronofsky to pay homage to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot about that one too. Haven't seen that movie in a few years. Worth revisiting.
Yeah.
The Shining finally takes my number 3. Is it what, your number 2?
It's my number 2, yeah.
Your number 2? Yeah. Well then, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Which one did you pick though? Because there's 2.
Oh, I choose the Here's Johnny scene.
Okay, that's the one I picked too. But the one with the lady in the bathtub is also like
that is
it's a really good one. It's a creepy one.
It's a creepy one. It reminds me of the Shaun of the Dead bathroom scene with their roommate that they don't like, who's like turned into a zombie and he's standing up in the shower. That one always gives. I'm like claustrophobic because it's like he's right there and he could bite them and they have no idea what's going on. But you know, less well known, I think, than the one from The Shining.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, probably the most quoted line from the whole movie, and he's like breaking into the bathroom. So
yeah, it's a great scene. Great, very tense. And Jack Nicholson is a scary man. Do you go next? Your number 2 pick?
Yeah, well, my number 2 is your number 1.
Oh shit!
It's Psycho.
It's Psycho. Obviously,
yeah.
Obviously. I don't even know what your number 1 could possibly be. Psycho is the most famous, most iconic, most groundbreaking bathroom scene. You're gonna say something stupid like Flushed Away. Your number 1.
No,
it's not as good as Flushed Away though.
There's a whole trope for just homaging the scene from Psycho. Like I put in my honorable mentions, there's the Phantom of the Paradise where he like just shoves a toilet plunger in his face when you think he's gonna stab him.
Yeah. And you have a shower curtain that is an homage to
I don't want to talk about that. That thing came out so pixelated and it cuts the title of the movie off. Yeah. It's so stupid. Stupid. What a disappointing purchase that was. Yeah.
Great scene though. I mean, it's great obviously for historical reasons, but also it's still tense. It's still affecting. It's it's great. I love Psycho. Good movie.
The only thing that could beat it is Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The bathroom scene from Jurassic Park, also known as the T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park, where the lawyer flees the Jeeps, runs into an outhouse, and the T-Rex walks over, eats him, and walks back over to the Jeeps.
what's his name? He starts with a G, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, Geronimo.
The blood-sucking lawyer. I'm kind of cheating here. I know it's not like the bathroom is a component of the scene.
The bathroom is like as a way to diffuse the tension from all of the T-Rex breakout.
Right.
It's a way to sort of like deflate everything, like to let you take a little breath after you're watching this giant like 30-ton beast come out of this enclosure. Yeah, it's a funny scene, and it's a good bathroom moment. That's a good one. I didn't even think of that. I guess because the bathroom gets completely destroyed. It's just a toilet.
Yeah, there's no bathroom left.
Yeah.
If there's a man sitting on a toilet, it's a bathroom scene.
It's a bathroom scene. You heard it here, folks.
Here's Johnny.
All right, we've got 2 more top 10 topics to cover. The next of them being our top 10 recommendations to get people into movies. This is an interesting one. I think.
I mean, so we have a good idea of like who is listening to the podcast right now,
right?
Who's been listening for the past 10 episodes and everything. A lot of you are movie fans. Some of you more so than others, and then some people are, maybe sort of casual at it, which is. I think most people are. I mean, movies are like, with books and music are like right there with like the art that most people consume on a regular basis. TV shows too, on top of that. But if you are someone who wants to get more into films and you're looking maybe for some recommendations from, people like us who are really into movies, we're so into movies, we're talking about them in our free time for a podcast. This is a list for you. I think.
Yeah. Why don't I go ahead and start us off here? I have to justify my first one.
Okay.
Because I'm starting at number 10 with Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Okay.
This is a Audrey Hepburn movie, probably most famously known for the incredibly racially insensitive role filled by Mickey Rooney in just a horribly offensive Asian stereotype.
Yeah.
Very, very racist. If you take that out of the film, pretty good, right?
It's a great film. Yeah, it's amazing. I really like Breakfast at Tiffany's, but it's amazing how that one element is like all I think about when I think about the movie.
It's yeah. And, I'm kind of putting that on this list at the bottom because there is a lot of this insensitivity, racial insensitivity specifically, that is tied to film. As a medium. A lot of like the first milestones in film, like the first film credited to have sound, is blackface is a huge part of it.
The jazz singer.
Yeah. And, Birth of a Nation, like paints the KKK in a heroic light. Breakfast at Tiffany's, I think it's going to be weird, but it sounds like a more palatable way to just broach that subject matter and, kind of say, hey, look at how far we've come.
Yeah.
And look at the fact that we still have to talk about this. I don't know. It's a troubling movie to get through, I would say, despite the fact that it has some really great stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is a great movie. I don't know if I necessarily agree that it eases the viewer in. It is like a slap to the face.
No, it's not easy. I'm not saying that you watch it and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
I get it. I understand why they did this. Yeah. Now watch Tropic Thunder and the Robert Downey Jr. scenes. All right, so for my list, I structured it a little bit differently. I structured it according to decades because film goes back. Technically, like the 1880s, I think, is like when the first like film that you can log on Letterboxd anyways. I didn't go back that far. I went back to the 1920s because I feel like it's a very important decade for film. It's peak of the silent era. It's right before sound. So don't be afraid. If you should watch at least one silent movie in your life, and there's all kinds to choose from. Nosferatu is a good one. Stuff like that. I'm going to recommend one that we've already talked about, Sherlock Jr. It's like 40 minutes. It's in the public domain. It's funny. It's kinetic. Maybe takes, 5 or 10 minutes to kind of get going. But once it gets going, you'll be amazed at what they were capable of back then. It's a lot of fun. If you're going to start somebody off with movies, I say start way back and watch this 40-minute short starring Buster Keaton. It's a lot of fun. You're really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I definitely felt that when we watched it for our episode not too long ago. It definitely, and the runtime too. It's just like,
it's breezy.
Yeah, if this isn't for you, then you didn't waste too much of your time. But I can't imagine who wouldn't enjoy it. It was a blast.
Oh yeah,
so much fun, great stunt work, and a lot less racial insensitivity. Surprisingly, for being much older.
Much older, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that you would be going through the decades a little bit more since you have more experience, kind of just indulging by time period. I don't have as much experience, especially with movies of the first half of the 20th century. So I'm kind of just going by different genres and kind of...
that makes sense. That's great.
Yeah, different types of movies. What can get you into those? My number 9 is My Dinner with Andre. Very, very simple movie about two men having dinner together and talking and sort of having a philosophical disagreement, but a very formal, very respectable one, and kind of seeing how you can make a movie like that's two people talking and be totally engaged in it. There was lots of movies like that. It's not exactly a hangout movie, although I guess you could make the argument for it, but it's definitely a dialogue-driven movie.
Yeah.
And it's a good one to start with if you think that you like movies more so for that reason.
Yeah. And it's almost something that could be adapted for the stage. I don't know if it ever was.
It was.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they even switched parts. Wallace Shawn and
Andre.
the
Andre who gets dinner with Wallace.
They switched parts because people were saying that like it only worked because the parts were written specifically for them, and they switched parts in at least one production of the play because they wanted to prove that no, the material works strongly enough on its own.
Yeah, the material is really great. It's a really riveting dialogue, and if you're I wholeheartedly recommend that. It's one of my 5 stars on Letterboxd. Nice. I really love My Dinner with Andre. My next pick is going to be from the 1930s. Most people have seen The Wizard of Oz. If you haven't seen it, watch that. But if you have, you should watch King Kong. You should watch the original King Kong. It's an early effects-driven film, stop-motion effects. Lots of really cool rear screen projections and miniatures and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's still in the public consciousness because of Peter Jackson's King Kong, because of the recent spate of Kong versus Godzilla movies. Yeah. King Kong is an icon for a good reason. I think you should go back and watch the original King Kong. It's pretty short too.
Yeah.
And there is dialogue in it. I'm not going to pretend like it's great dialogue, but there's dialogue. You're in it for the effects. Right. I think it's a good showcase of early effects. It kind of gets you into like the magic of movies and stuff like that. Very nice. Yeah. I haven't watched it, so I definitely would. You should watch it. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Are you, listeners? Yeah. I'm going to, let's see, coming up on my number 8 here, in terms of getting into musicals, we mentioned Singing in the Rain earlier, which was, it's like considered, I think, one of the best musicals ever made. Yeah. I want to challenge people a little bit more by recommending the 1972 Cabaret with Liza Minnelli. Okay. This is a movie that my girlfriend introduced to me pretty recently. I'm not going to lie. It's got to be one of my favorite musicals and one of my favorite movies she's showed me, because that movie in 1972 tackles so many themes on sexuality, on anti-Semitism, and about, kind of how they're reflected in show business and the exploitative nature of show business as well. It's a very, very good movie with some excellent songs, excellent performances, and a little bit of, showing how you can adapt these themes in a way that feels like you're doing something important. Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen Cabaret. I've seen All That Jazz, and for some reason I feel like they would be a good matchup. Have you seen All That Jazz? No. It's another one. Ships in the Night. I could see that being a matchup. Comment down below if you think that should be a matchup. My next pick is from the 1940s. Big decade, the 1940s. Yeah. Casablanca is my pick. This is a classic of the golden age of Hollywood era. Casablanca stars Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. Mm-hmm. It's a movie. It takes place during World War II. It's a it is a patriotic movie.
Yeah.
Not in sort of a gung-ho, Independence Day kind of patriotism, but it is like, we need to rally and fight these fascist fuckers. It's that sort of thing. It's great. It still holds up all these years later, 80 years later. I just watched it a couple months ago. Quippy dialogue. Some of the lines you'll have already heard before. Here's to you, kid, and we'll always have Paris, and play it again, Sam. You'll know some of these dialogue, these lines when you hear them.
Of course.
It's an iconic film. I definitely recommend it for getting sort of the real, authentic golden age of Hollywood. Effect.
Yeah, it's that was on my honorable mention list as well. That's just a classic. It holds up. It was the biggest success of like the studio system when that was in place. Like, it was kind of an accident how it ended up being such a good movie. One of the rare examples of how the Hays Code did something really good.
Yeah.
My number 7 is the 1994 Hong Kong crime comedy drama romance movie, Chungking Express by Wong Kar-wai. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it.
Have you seen In the Mood for Love?
No. I haven't seen any Wong
Kar-wai. I prefer Chungking Express to In the Mood for Love. Very different movies, probably not even appropriate comparing the two of them, but that's what we do here on this podcast anyway. Chungking Express is like two different stories. One of them happens kind of quickly, almost like a prologue, and then it just completely switches to two different characters. And it was like, I think, envisioned in being an anthology movie, but the third segment that was going to be that movie ended up becoming its own movie that came out shortly after. But Chungking Express is definitely, this is my sort of, if you want to get into more foreign cinema with a little bit more of a modern twist, it's 94, so it's not like super modern, but if you're not going to be watching like a Jackie Chan movie for action, this movie is one that's a little bit cheeky and definitely has a funny bone, which I really appreciate, and this level of absurdism that I really enjoy in my movies.
Cool. I'll have to check that one out too, if I want to get into movies. My next pick is from the 1950s.
Of course.
Rear Window. This is Alfred Hitchcock's thriller starring James Stewart.
Yeah.
And Grace Kelly. It's Jimmy Stewart's character as L.B. Jeffries. He's a action photographer, and he's been injured on his latest shoot. He was at a racetrack, and a wheel hit him or something. So he is wheelchair bound in his apartment. The entire movie takes place within his apartment as he's looking out onto the complex outside.
Okay.
And he starts to suspect that, and he's watching his neighbors the whole time, but he starts to suspect that one of them has murdered his wife, and they have to piece together if he actually did it. It's a lot of fun. It's probably my second favorite Hitchcock. This is not as complex, I think, as Vertigo, not as kind of off-putting as Vertigo, but just as like enthralling, and it's so much fun. I just rewatched it actually like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. Watch Rear Window. It's great. And this is when there's some color in this one. Yeah. The last 4 I recommended are all black and white, but the Rear Window, great movie.
Nice. Yeah. That's a blind spot for me, being like a Hitchcock novice.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. My number 6 is Shaun of the Dead. And this is where we're getting into that modern indie filmmaking is very possible. It was made for cheap. It's a zombie movie, and they just made a movie with their friends and had a blast and made it funny as
Yeah.
A lot of people said when this movie came out that they felt seen by it because it's like the layman's zombie apocalypse. There's no like government agents being called in. There's no like action heroes. It's just people in a neighborhood who are trying to bunker down at a bar to survive. Some people call it a rom-com because there are elements of a romantic comedy in it as well, but it's also the beginning of Edgar Wright's career. And Edgar Wright, I think, in addition to Quentin Tarantino, those two guys are the movie fans that became household movie names in the 21st century, and proved that if you love movies, you can make them too. And I think it's a good place for people to start if they want to get into it, I know a lot of people who listen have already seen Shaun of the Dead. I say watch it again. I could watch that movie any day of the week and love it just as much.
Yeah. Edgar Wright is at the top of his craft. I'm really excited for The Running Man coming out later.
Yeah, Glen Powell.
My next pick is from the 60s. It's a Billy Wilder film called The Apartment. And normally I would recommend Some Like It Hot as my go-to Billy Wilder film, but since we're doing it by decades, The Apartment fits the bill.
Okay.
It's really good. It's a comedy. It's, I think, my only comedy on here. And, the sense of humor, you would think coming out in the 60s that it would be dated in some way.
Right.
It is not. It's whip smart. Billy Wilder was an expert screenwriter as well as director. He's a very famous name from the era too. Give it a watch. It's a lot of fun. It's about this guy who is he's just some mook who works in an office space, and he's leasing out his apartment to all the higher ups who are cheating on their spouses, and he's just doing it to get an extra leg up in the office. Which who can't relate?
Damn.
It's a lot of fun. I think it's a Christmas movie too. So.
Wow.
Watch it for the holidays.
Yeah. My confession is that I've never seen a Billy Wilder.
Jesus Christ. We're just like going right past each other with this
I know. We really are.
Which is good. I mean, that's giving variety, I feel like, for people.
Yeah. Now we can really get into movies.
Yeah. Now I actually like movies.
Here's my intro to ethereal cinema at number 5. I'm going to recommend people watch Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
1986 early-ish David Lynch movie, and often called like one of his most accessible movies. It definitely still has its weird elements to it for sure. But it's like a neo-noir in a way, following Kyle MacLachlan as he gets involved in some criminal gang stuff that he never meant to, because he's got a bit of a savior complex and also wants to know where this severed ear came from.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disjointed elements intentionally that just kind of lead him on a wild goose chase, and he just comes out the other end like he's been swallowed by a wave.
Yeah. Oh, it's all about layers with Blue Velvet, just uncovering more and more layers of depravity of this like picture perfect town of Lumberton, North Carolina, and the seedy underbelly. Which obviously ends up being a big influence or a through line in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blue Velvet, great. My next pick is from the 1970s. I'm kind of going back on my rule where I didn't recommend Wizard of Oz because most people have seen it. I'm going to say Jaws.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that because I think more people have probably seen Wizard than they've seen Jaws, because I met a lot of people who haven't seen Jaws, surprisingly. I thought it was like a movie that everybody grew up with.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen it up until a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it took me till my 20s. I think I saw it when I was 21, actually.
Yeah.
I saw it in an empty theater for an anniversary screening, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was
That's
highly
the best way to see
recommended.
it. Yeah, definitely in a theater. If you can catch it, hey, it's the 50-year anniversary. I think it's coming to theaters at the end of
I
August.
believe it is, yes.
If you can see it in a theater and you've never seen it, go watch Jaws. It's really good. I think it's Steven Spielberg's best movie. Spielberg's a household name. You know him from Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park. Watch Jaws. It's great. If you've seen it, watch Chinatown. We already talked about it.
Yeah. Awesome. Great recommendation. My number 4 is a movie that came up on one of your top 10s previously. It's Playtime.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel comfortable recommending any of those slapstick physical comedies from earlier eras because I just haven't seen enough of them. So I recommend Playtime. Not that it is kind of slapstick. Definitely visual comedy.
Yeah.
And just prolific in set design and blocking, like we mentioned earlier. It's I would recommend it. If you like the technical aspects of film, I will still watch it and have my mind blown by how much is going on in the camera. It's incredible.
It is incredible. Oh wow, I didn't realize this. My 80s pick is Blue Velvet. So we have a I didn't even realize that until I looked. Yeah, Blue Velvet. We just talked about it. You should watch Blue Velvet. David Lynch is amazing. He just passed away, unfortunately, in January. Tremendous loss. Probably
Truly.
the greatest American filmmaker of his time, for sure. It is steep competition, but I do think Lynch is it. Watch Blue Velvet. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Or watch Eraserhead if you want to get into Lynch. That's also fun.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, good choice there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
My number 3 is Akiru. If you haven't seen Akiru, it is a Kurosawa movie that's not about samurai. It's about a man who feels like he has wasted his whole life once he realizes that he's been diagnosed with a terminal illness. He was a pencil pusher. He was a bureaucrat. He has an estranged relationship with his son. And it's just kind of a movie about realizing the difference that one life can make as long as you're living it with commitment, but so much more than that too. It's a movie that captures a lot of the nuances that come with living with purpose and the consequences of living without it. Great oscillation between cynical and idealist in a lot of ways. And also a great entry point, I would say, for Kurosawa and Japanese cinema as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good recommend. I had seen that a couple of years ago, and every time I think about it, I'm like, I got to revisit that one because it really is effective. It's a really good movie. My pick for the 90s, and this is kind of a cheat, I picked Before Sunrise.
Oh.
It's the first entry in the Richard Linklater Before trilogy.
Damn.
Just watch Before Sunrise. It's Julie Delpy and you know the guy.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, yeah. Ethan Hawke. Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke on vacation in
Paris.
They're not in Paris.
Whatever, man.
They're in
they go to Paris in the second one, right?
I can't remember.
I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh. This is embarrassing. I can't remember. They're in a country that neither of them are from.
Right.
I can't remember now. God.
Germany or something. London.
Yeah, it's like Germany or something like that.
Yeah, London, Germany.
Yeah, London, Germany. It's a romantic movie. This is my romance pick. It's probably the most romantic movie, one of the most romantic movies for young love, I think.
Yeah.
Love at first sight kind of thing. Just two people walking around this town, talking to one another, falling in love. And it all takes place like in real time, basically. I think almost in real time.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Great film. You'll love it. I think if you have a romantic bone in your body, you will love the Before movies. Definitely watch Before Sunrise.
Nice. Yeah. Great pick. Great intro to romance too.
Yeah.
I think often considered one of the best romance movies, or any of them from the trilogy, except the last one.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee, 1989 movie, just about a neighborhood in New York on the hottest day of the year. That's really funny, and there's a lot of like interesting sort of slice of life things going on. But as the movie goes on, tensions start to boil between people, and it culminates in a climax that is violent and important and disturbingly relevant today. I watched this movie during the COVID-19 pandemic for the first time, where the George Floyd protests were huge, and people were upset and pissed off and forced to stay indoors. And the parallels between that time and this movie are disturbing. But the movie itself is a masterpiece. I mean, like it found a way to say what it needed to say while not feeling preachy, and while actually being just like funny and engaging, and knowing how to strike the most delicate balance I think that any movie can. And it's not a message movie, quote unquote. It's a movie that's, I mean, it makes a point, but holy crap.
Yeah, it makes a point. That's a really good pick too. My pick for the 2000s, and I think this one came out in 2003, is Memories of Murder, which is a Bong Joon-ho flick. He's obviously gained a lot of traction recently for movies like Parasite,
right,
and Snowpiercer. For my money, my favorite Bong Joon-ho is Memories of Murder.
That's mine as well.
I think it's great. It's a procedural murder mystery kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're kind of wanting to get into foreign films, foreign cinema, I think South Korean cinema right now is doing some really exciting things, or in the past 20 years. And Memories of Murder is really great, really tense.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen Zodiac, the David Fincher film, which I think we have these two paired up in our sheet.
That's an episode for the future.
Yeah. Memories of Murder is right up there. I think it'll be right up your alley. People who like true crime. I think it is based off of a real murder too.
Yeah.
So, and the last shot, man, is like It's etched in my my memory.
Yeah, that movie's a masterpiece. It's fantastic.
Really good one. Watch Memories of Murder.
And up to our number ones here. I'll just throw out some honorable mentions. Phantom of the Paradise is just fantastic. I had a great time watching it, and I love it. Dazed and Confused, if you want to get into, like, it's got sort of a hangout vibe. I ultimately went with My Dinner with Andre instead. I think it's probably more powerful of a watch than, but Dazed and Confused is great. 8.5 was on my honorable mentions, but as you said, it's probably not the best Fellini to start out with.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And then I was like, well, if you want to get into Westerns, maybe start with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but I haven't really gotten into Westerns myself, so I left that off the list. My number one is and always will be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You probably predicted that.
I did, yeah, right before you said it.
That is a very important movie to me, and it's a movie that helped me get into movies as well. I mean, when I watched it, I'd never seen anything that was shot like it, with that sort of like indie experimental take before that became an aesthetic that people tried to, package and repurpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, very just, I mean...
It's like minimalist, like, because that's how they had to do it. And then other movies were like, well, let's just copy what they're doing. Yeah. And we'll also save money doing it.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine is great film.
There's this guy who works at a collectible store. He owns a collectible store in the old mall that's like a shell of a building here in Morgantown.
Yeah.
And I met him one time, and he was like, I bet I could guess your favorite movie. And he guessed Eternal Sunshine, and I was like, man, am I that easy to
Holy
to
shit.
pay?
That's
and
so
he
funny.
said it was boring, and I was like, what's your favorite movie? Like Halloween?
What did he say?
I think it was Halloween, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, are you serious?
It's one of those, like, I mean, Halloween's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but Eternal Sunshine isn't boring. What the is wrong with you?
Let's challenge this guy. He should come on our podcast.
I'll bring him on.
Yeah. My last pick is from the 2010s.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with another foreign film. I feel like foreign films, especially because like Hollywood has really become a shell of its former self. You kind of have to go outside of America to find movies to recommend. I'm going to recommend Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Nice.
I guess this is another romance, but it's an LGBTQ romance. Sorry, I'm not like hip with lingo. I should be better. I promise I'm an ally. Like I'm just really bad.
Haven't seen Cabaret.
I haven't seen Cabaret. It's true. But anyways, really great movie. It's a French film. The French. Romantic, sad. I mean, it is. There is a bittersweetness to it, a melancholy to it, because it's a period piece, and I mean, obviously, Anyways, you should watch the movie. I'm not going to give away what happens, but it is sweet and bittersweet and all the feels. Watch Before Sunrise After as a palate cleanser for something a little happier. If you want something from the 2020s, watch After Sun. I think that's a good one. And that is an American film, or Canadian, something like that.
One of those two. They're basically the same.
Maybe British. I don't know. I can't think.
Do you have any honorable mentions on that?
That would be sort of my honorable mention. Yeah, After Sun. I Chinatown, Wizard of Oz, stuff like that.
Nice. Well, that brings us to the 9th and 10th top 10s on our 10 top 10s. The category for this one, top 10 movies deserving of sequels. We have a little criteria for it, I guess, where we wrote the sequels, kind of.
These are our top 10 movies deserving sequels. But not only are we pitching like the title, which we're going to have some fun with, I think.
Yeah.
But we also pitched like what the sequel would actually be. So this is a creative exercise. Mm-hmm. And so I can go first.
Go for it.
My first one is a sequel to the 2022 horror film Skinamarink. I'm going to call it Rinky Dink.
Is it Skinamarink 2 Rinky Dink?
I just want to call it Rinky Dink, I think. And Skinamarink is based off of a short called Heck, which is great. where Skinamarink is about like childhood isolation and anxiety, I think Rinky Dink should take place in a nursing home, and it's about like the disintegration of the mind and the relapse into infancy, right? Because like as you get older, you lose, your mind a lot, and you wear diapers and you rely on other people to take care of you. You really relapse into like being a child in a way.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be an interesting, if you kind of want to go that same route of like isolation and anxiety and confusion, like a cosmic sort of like horror. I feel like it'd be interesting to do it like in a nursing home and call it Rinky Dink, just because it'd be funny.
Oh my god!
That's it. That's my pitch. Rinky Dink. What do you think?
Are you doing like the same kind of like ethereal horror? Like it's very similar aesthetic and vibe and everything.
I think so. Yeah, I think it would be pretty similar. I think it would lend itself well to that sort of thing.
Okay.
The disappearing faces and the like familiar places being made unfamiliar by a camera that focuses on weird angles and stuff.
It's almost like an Eternal Sunshine thing where you're losing your memory. Meets Skinamarink, which is just a nightmare.
Yeah, but it's called Rinky Dink.
But it's called Yeah, I would watch that. I actually would.
Awesome. What's your first one?
My first one here, I've got the pitch. You're not going to understand any of this because I approached this list as movies I actually would want to see sequels from, which was actually kind of hard for me because a lot of movies that never had sequels and feel like complete plots are like, well, I don't want to step on the ending. But a couple years ago, one of my favorite shows, The Venture Brothers, ended with a movie. And my buddy Josh and I agree that every couple of years, if they just had a movie come out, that would be a great way to just continue the story and get to see the characters. So this next Venture Brothers movie, I wrote a little synopsis for.
Let's hear it.
After bankrupting his late brother's multi-billion-dollar tech business, Dr. Rusty Venture sells Ventech Industries for a fraction of its original worth to a wealthy Augustus St. Cloud, granting the Guild of Calamitous Intent access to a wealth of super science engineering. The OSI, now at DEFCON 1, recklessly transplants the brain of super scientist Jonas Venture Sr. into the mind of S646 as a last-ditch effort to counteract the Guild's new capacity for evil doing. Meanwhile, Hank is ecstatic to learn he's been assigned his own level 1 archenemy, and the Monarch struggles to step up his arching game with his newfound knowledge of his true relation to Rusty Venture.
So for context, for everybody normal out there, I'm sitting next to Jeff's Venture Brothers Complete Series box set.
My girlfriend got me that.
And his Go Team Venture, what is that?
It's like an art book limited edition. I could sell that thing for like $500 if I wanted to, but I won't.
Jeff's a big Venture Brothers fan.
Love the Venture Brothers, probably my favorite show.
Yeah,
I would just want to see more of it. That out there is for nobody except Josh, maybe.
Yeah. The 12 people who watch the Venture Brothers. All right, my next one, and these first couple were just kind of silly. I was being a little silly with them.
You
a little cheeky.
Silly butt.
It's a sequel to Midsummer, Ari Aster's, and this one's called Winter Solstice, but it's spelled VV like W,
like
Y.
The witch.
Yeah. Winter. But it's VVYNTER, and then solstice is spelled with like the O and the E like connected.
Okay.
Like where the O would normally be. I don't know what that's called. There's like a word for that. I don't know. I didn't really have a good pitch for it because I was just thinking the title would be funny, but I was like, imagine Florence Pugh has like lived like a long life in the commune, and now she must face the next step of her journey, which is death.
Okay.
And so I'm just imagining how that would play out. I have no idea. I have no clue.
Do you still cast her and put her in like age makeup?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You do like a reverse Robert De Niro from The Irishman. She's like walking around like a spry lass, but she's like 70 something because they die. They have to like kill themselves when they're like 70 something, right?
Right. I mean, you're basically describing Mia Goth in X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's sort of, yeah. Winter solstice.
That's great. Yeah, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I would hate it.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if I'd watch it, but I'm glad someone would.
At thematic odds.
Yeah.
With the original. My number 9 is the only one I actually didn't write a synopsis for, but it's because it was actually originally conceived and never saw the light of day. It is Scooby-Doo 3 by James Gunn, which he was actually set to write and direct.
Yeah.
And there was a Twitter thread years ago where somebody asked him what the plot of Scooby-Doo 3 would have been.
Right.
And he said, the gang goes to Scotland. Have you heard this?
No, I've never heard this.
They go to Scotland to investigate a town where there's like a ton of monsters, but learn that the monsters are actually being oppressed by the townspeople.
Oh.
And so Scooby and Shaggy have to reevaluate their prejudices. And at the end of the tweet, James Gunn in parentheses is like, yes, this is real. So like,
was there a title for it?
no, I don't think so. But it also has like the thing where if you made it now with the cast like 20 years older, you can have them like banding together to solve one last mystery.
Yeah.
You can make it dark. I love Dark Scooby-Doo. You know, I love Dark Scooby-Doo.
That'd be awesome. And with James Gunn like on the up and up right now,
Yeah.
this could happen.
I think it's too big for it now. I really do.
Oh,
but
damn.
he could make it happen if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I just can't see it.
I'd see it. I'm a fan of the live action like Scooby-Doo movies. I actually talked about Monsters Unleashed on a podcast like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's one of my like guilty pleasures. I love that movie. My next one is a sequel to Arrival.
Departure?
Yeah.
I knew.
But it is serious.
Okay.
It is called Departure, but it is serious. Of course it's called Departure. What else would it be? Arrival 2. They're back. Like what? So it's after the heptapods leave. They leave behind their language, which enables mankind to begin seeing their future, right?
Whoa.
So already knowing how things end, people give up, and because they consider their future like a bygone conclusion. And I feel like it'd be sort of like a metaphor for like climate change and stuff. And that's really all I got.
That's good.
I think it would be kind of interesting. I think maybe, I don't know, like how it would end. Like maybe would people leave the earth? I feel like that's sort of like leaving the earth might've been like an optimistic thing to do like decades ago, but nowadays it doesn't resonate with people because it's like, we have earth, we can save it if we take the right actions. So I feel like it's somehow they have to not see their own future.
Isn't the plot of Arrival that the aliens see that they will need humanity's help at some point in the future, and they're like mutually benefiting each other in some roundabout way? Isn't that?
I don't remember. Have you seen Arrival?
Yeah, I've seen Arrival.
Have you seen Departure?
I will see it when it comes out.
I'd watch it. I think it sounds interesting. Yeah, Departure.
Yeah, a lot of mine are like, they're like series or like franchise, because it's like, you know, if it already had sequels or it could have had a franchise, like I would see a continuation of that. I don't want a continuation of movies that, like, I don't want to see a Little Miss Sunshine 2. That's a perfect movie as it is. Let's just leave it alone. So this is my pitch for Rango 2. Okay. The town of Mud is infatuated when a stranger rolls into town and beats Sheriff Rango at his own surfing game. Because at the end of the first Rango, they have water and they're like, don't laugh at me.
Right.
In a jealous investigation, Rango discovers that the stranger is actually a disgraced actor from LA, bent on winning the town's approval and rising to power. But our hero can't flip the rose-colored reputation of a smooth-talking gecko. He's a gecko. The stranger's a gecko.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So Rango must take a trip to the wild and lawless town of Hollywood to track down the man who ran out the stranger and hopefully bring law and order back to the liberated town of Mud. So you've got Rango, like he was an actor at the beginning of the first movie. Now he actually goes to Hollywood as a non-actor, and he's got to kind of like face that, like, you know, that lifestyle. And
would you just call it Rango Goes to Hollywood?
Oh yeah, of course.
Because that's like what Drake and Josh do that, right?
Yeah. Yes. There's a Scooby-Doo Goes to Hollywood too.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
Yeah. Rango Goes to Hollywood. I was trying to come up with a funny name for Hollywood, like Lizardwood or something. Nothing came.
Yeah.
I didn't try very hard.
My next one is a sequel to The Host. We're
Okay.
talking about another Bong Joon-ho movie.
All right.
It's called Parasite. Yeah.
And it already happened.
No. So I feel like The Host is ripe for its own like Jaws treatment, where it gets a bunch of really bad sequels that no one asked for that are basically rehashes of the original one. But I think amidst like the direct-to-video slop, there should be one like meta sequel, like a reboot sequel called Parasite.
Okay.
That's about the like adapting the original like events of the host onto the big screen. And it has to be like a haunted production. It's haunted by like mysterious deaths, and apparently like the monster is real. People believe it's come back. But at the end, it's revealed not to be, probably. It's like a Scooby-Doo kind of thing.
So do you want this to actually like be a good movie?
I would want this one to be good, but it could only flourish in an environment amidst a bunch of slop. So you have all these hosts that suck. You have like the host 2,
the host 3D,
the hostess. It's about a female host. But then eventually Ouija host, yeah. Host exorcist, but then eventually you get Parasite, which is about how like the studio system is parasitic towards original ideas. That's the meta thing, you know?
Logical conclusion.
Yeah, you're doing like sort of a Scream kind of deal with it. I think that'd be kind of fun. This would only happen in my own made up fantasy of like a film series, but like it would be kind of cool to see, I think.
Okay.
And I think it's funny to call it Parasite because Bong Joon-ho did a movie called Parasite.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's good. Would he direct this Parasite?
No.
Okay, somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be another little cheeky thing. People would be like, oh, that's cheeky.
I like it. You're like building the environment for this thing to exist.
Yeah, there's a world. I'm building the world. I'm world building right now.
I would watch it. All right. This is my sequel to First Cow.
What? First Cow, the what?
Yeah, it's called Second Cow.
Shut up.
Since the disappearance of Cookie and Lou, the outpost starts putting pressure on the chief factor to expand food trade to baked goods. The factor, adamant that the disappeared duo were petty thieves, invites bakers from all over the Pacific Northwest to partake in a prestigious outpost bake-off and orders a second milk cow from Asian traders to be brought in from across seas. Between cuts to the second cow in transit, we see attempts by eclectic bakers to impress the chief factor and win the graces of the first cow, which is now producing record low supplies of milk to the factor's unraveling dismay.
That's insane.
Yes. It's only because years ago I saw a poster for Second Cow, which was, you know what the poster for First Cow is? Just a cow on a raft.
Yeah.
And the poster for Second Cow is just 2 cows on a raft.
Yeah, that's...
And I was like, what is that? You haven't even seen First Cow.
I've never seen First Cow, yeah.
Yeah, it has a very definitive ending.
Oh my God.
So to do a sequel is exactly the kind of thing that I'm like, I don't want to see, but also I have to see it if they call it Second Cow and they put another cow on a raft on the poster. Like, and I was like, what could it even be?
That's
I don't know.
funny.
You got to watch First Cow and then I'll send you the synopsis again and you tell me, if you'd watch it. And listeners at home, watch Kelly Reichardt's First Cow. It's a great, boring, slow movie. It's good boring, in my opinion.
Yeah. My next one would be a sequel to Uncut Gems.
Is it
no, Adam Sandler does not come back. He's dead.
All right. Julie Fox.
Spoilers for Uncut Gems. It's good. I would call it All That Glitters. How's that?
Okay.
You like that,
all right? That is pretty good. All right, let's hear it.
Now get this. It stars Kevin Hart.
All right, I'm out.
No, it makes sense because you have Adam Sandler in the first one, and he's like, comedic actor.
Okay.
Kevin Hart is in this next one. He's a washed-up athlete. I wrote in parentheses horse jockey because he's so short. I was like, yeah, horse jockey. It turned motivational speaker.
Oh my God.
So imagine like Safdie's doing like a motivational speaker, like is the main character, and he's just like sweating bull. He's like, I'm not gonna have anything to say, and like I'm a fraud and all this crap. It's like super anxious. I wrote, somehow it's about crypto. It has to be about crypto. I don't know how. Kevin Hart as a washed up athlete turned motivational speaker. Somehow it's about crypto. It's called All That Glitters, directed by the Safdie brothers.
How is this a sequel to Uncut?
It's a spiritual sequel, okay? It has like the same like style and stuff.
And like Julia Fox shows up for a scene.
Yeah, sure. She's in the audience during one of this.
Or Kevin Garnett shows up.
Yeah, there you go.
Or he's friends with Kevin Garnett. I don't know. Kevin Garnett's got to be in it.
Yeah, he's like super tall. He's looking down at Kevin Hart. Who's the
It's
taller
that's
Kevin?
not even a person.
I almost stepped on you down there. Yeah, so that's it.
Oh my God. That's great.
Yeah, you'd see it.
I would. Okay. Okay. All right. Here's my sequel to Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
It's called Buckaroo Banzai Tames the Terra Screw.
The
Terra Screw.
Terra Screw?
Yeah.
Can you spell that for me?
Terra.
Okay.
Okay, you'll get it.
All right.
Buckaroo Banzai is back, and he's got a warning from Alfonso da Vinci, Leonardo's distant descendant, that a colony of mole men plan to bury the state of California under the San Andreas Fault. With his trusty crew by his side, Banzai cracks the secret of Leonardo's 15th century aerial designs, actually intended as digging machines,
Oh my God.
and heads underground to broker peace between the surface world and the subterraneans.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's so awesome. Buckaroo Banzai meets the mole man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, the earth is hollow. It was hollow the whole time.
I'm just like, okay, for a Buckaroo Banzai follow-up, you can't just have like one absurd idea. You have to have like a bunch happening at the same time. So he like meets Leonardo da Vinci. Originally I was like, somehow Leonardo da Vinci's like frozen himself and he comes back. Or Buckaroo Banzai discovers he is the descendant of Leonardo da Vinci. But he had the aerial screws that like were some of his like flight devices, and you find out they were actually meant to dig.
Terra Screw.
The Terra Screw.
Okay, because they're
He
actually
tames the
digging
Terra
machines.
Screw.
That is so funny. That's like when like paleontologists will dig up a fossil and they'll be like, this is clearly meant as like a paddle, and it's like, no, it's actually like a wing. It's like, I love that. That's so funny. I would totally watch that. My next one is a sequel to Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Okay.
It's called Scott Pilgrim Rules the World. So it takes place years after the last film ends, and like Scott's in a settled relationship with Ramona. He's doing all the things he loves, and he's got the girl, but Ramona isn't happy. So he kind of like loses himself in what he does, the grind, the mediocrity of aging, and he promises to do right by Ramona, but he bungles like this elaborate proposal. Like he goes like too far into it or whatever. And he ends up blaming Ramona for like having too high of expectations for him.
Okay.
So he's forced to, so like she disappears and he's forced to face like a team of alternate Scotts that are led by Nega Scott, like the evil Scott from the end of the film.
Oh, wow. Have you seen the Scott Pilgrim anime?
No. Is this what happens?
No, not exactly.
Is it similar?
I think your concept's dealing with like a problematic legacy of Scott Pilgrim, which is sort of that like that white boy kind of give me a chance kind of thing. The anime deals with that pretty head on.
Oh, okay.
And Ramona's kind of the main character of it.
Well, in this one, I would have like Ramona when she disappears, she goes on her like own adventure and like it becomes her own character. And so they like team up at the end. It's like player 1, player 2, but she's player 1. I don't know. Like it's like less like she's the prize and more like she's an active agent in it. I'll admit it's been a while since I've seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. That's funny. I didn't even think about the anime.
Yeah, you should definitely check out the anime. The anime is great. Honestly, it seems like it's tackling similar things to your proposed sequel.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I know I would watch that. Are you going to bring back like Michael Cera and
Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yeah,
definitely.
Bring back the whole cast because
Yeah.
they all reprise their roles for the anime, so you know that they'd be willing at like the drop of a hat.
Especially if I were directing it.
I was going to say Edgar Wright, but hey, you're a close second, right?
Definitely.
Nice. Okay. Bear with me on this next one.
All right.
There was a advertainment short film that came out a few years ago. It's called A Recipe for Seduction. It stars Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders it's like a 12-ish minute Lifetime movie where he like gets involved in this. Like this girl falls in love with him, but she's in debt, and her fiance is having an affair with her mom. It sounds like a Lifetime plot, right? So here is my proposal for another recipe for seduction, family secrets. A year into his marriage with Jessica, renowned chef Colonel Sanders is approached by cunning philanthropist Wendy Redding to consider a career as a restaurateur. Sanders is hesitant as it will require more time away from his wife, but Jessica encourages him to take a plot of Kentucky land, inherited by her mother, Bunny, to open the very first Kentucky Fried Chicken. However, the land turns out to have been secretly gifted to the scorned and recently paroled Billy Garibaldi, who's the name of her fiance from the first one.
Wow.
Who seizes operations and gives Sanders an ultimatum. Work for him and maintain his secret recipe, or sell the recipe and never fry another chicken again. And this is feature length.
This is feature length? Yeah, okay.
It has to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That recipe for seduction, I forgot about that.
I can almost quote the whole thing. It is, again, just bizarre.
Yeah.
And incredible for that reason.
Yeah, it's really funny. My next one is a sequel to E.T. It's called Phone Home.
No shit.
So it's made, I'm going to say it's probably made after Spielberg's death, because I don't feel like he would allow them to do a sequel to E.T. while he's alive. It's about an adult Elliot, and he's a deadbeat alcoholic dad.
What the hell?
But he reunites with E.T., who's a full-grown Chad. Like, he's like 6 feet tall. He's got like a chin. E.T. has brought his family. He's got like a ton of kids. He's got like a really hot wife and stuff. And he like brought his whole family to meet Elliot. And through the power of friendship, Elliot mends his relationship with his estranged kids. It's sort of a reverse Close Encounters of the Third Kind arc.
Okay.
He gets closer with them, gives up alcohol and stuff.
By being a Chad, E.T. helps Elliot as an adult?
E.T.'s sort of like...
It's like, just make sure you know what you're working out with before you go to the gym and take your whey
think
protein.
Think about how fun it would be. You'd have like moments... So E.T. comes back and they have the psychic connection and everything, and you have like Elliot on a bender and E.T.'s like just passed out in a train. And you have like E.T. like, I don't know, he's like taking like creatine for his workouts, and like Elliot gets like swole. Like, just think about it, man. It'd be awesome. Phone Home, and you're gonna watch
you know it already. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's called Phone Home.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that.
Good Lord. Yeah. I don't know if I would watch that one, but it'd make a lot of money. That'd be a legacy sequel that would make a lot of money.
People would be pissed. They'd be like, it ruined Elliot's character.
I want James Mangold to direct it.
It's like super serious. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. This is my number 4 in this top 10 of movies proposed out of any particular order. This is Monty Python and the Trial of King Arthur. King Arthur has been put on trial for the unceremonious murder of a modern-day historian mid-quest for the Holy Grail. Called to the stand are more wacky characters from the classic Arthurian legends, as their story web spins adjacent to Rashomon and the Canterbury Tales, recounting previous events from different points of view to hilarious effect.
Yeah, I'd watch it. Is it like made in the 70s, like when Monty Python was big?
You still get Graham Chapman, who's like doing his King Arthur straight man while like he's telling like the Arthurian kind of point of view of the story, and then you get all these characters to the stand. Like you can bring the Lady of the Lake up to the stand, and she's like, "He stole that sword from me," something like that. You know, like
yeah.
I think there's a lot. I mean, I don't have any like gags written out for it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
If the Pythons did it, because they're like historic-minded people, they're geniuses, like. They could do it justice.
Yeah, I would watch that. My next one, have you seen Nightcrawler?
I actually have not.
Okay, it's a sequel to Nightcrawler. It's called Maggot Water.
Did you say Maggot Water?
Maggot Water.
Okay.
I was trying to think because like Nightcrawler has such an ominous, nasty, wormy ring to it. And I was like, what is another like, ew, disgusting Maggot Water?
Is that one word?
It could be if you want it. I don't know. No, I didn't write it down as one word.
Okay.
So the movie like Nightcrawler is about this guy named Lou, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he like goes around filming like violent crimes basically, and like sells them to the local like news agency and stuff.
Okay.
I think eventually he like stages his own like crimes. It's
I've read a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's been like a decade since I've watched it, but in this one it would be like Lou like kind of has his own like media empire, like kind of like a low-lying media empire. Like it's kind of like really getting started.
Okay.
He's sort of like a Rupert Murdoch kind of guy, where he's like poisoning the minds of people with his like disgusting like filth and propaganda and
Very
shit.
topical. Very nice.
Yes. He starts to lose his edge a little bit when like a new band of videographers come around, a new band of night crawlers, calling themselves the Maggots. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be funny though. They're like a gang and they're like the Maggot Gang or something. Yeah. But they basically are like, they have like been brought up in Lou's philosophy. So this takes place like 15, 20 years, 25 years down the line.
Okay.
So they've been brought up with the Lou philosophy. Maybe they're using like AI or something too. Like, I don't know, you'd work in AI to make it topical somehow. I don't know how. But in the end, and see the whole like thing with Nightcrawler is you don't want Lou to win, but you also kind of do because he's your protagonist.
Right.
In the end, you think that Lou's gonna like his business is gonna go under because it's, you know, survival of the fittest. It's capitalism, but he subverts that because he has a monopoly. He makes like a big move and like buying up a bunch of shit, and he just competes them out of business and goes back to doing the same old nasty shit. Yeah, night crawling. He's just crawling around like a night crawler.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like picturing of like a sequel to that could kind of tie into like the modern media landscape. You have like TikTok, like you have like TikTok, like what do you call that? Snuff films. Like.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the AI angle, you could definitely like create fake crimes and convince people that they're real using AI.
Yeah. It goes from like you're witnessing something really like horrific and jarring to like you don't even know what's real, like that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, and it's a movie I hadn't thought about for a while, but I was like thinking about it, and I was like, how would you do a sequel to it? And it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I had the thought, like, what if you did a sequel to a biopic? And I was like, Social Network, that could work. And then, like, the next day they announced that Aaron Sorkin is doing the Social Network too.
Yeah. He becomes a lizard man.
All right, here's my next proposal. Who framed Eddie Valiant?
Like Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After trying and failing to recruit Eddie Valiant for protection, 2 of the 3 caballeros are found dead in a Toontown ditch, with Donald Duck reported missing. The 3 Caballeros is a Disney film that came out in 1947, which is when the original Roger Rabbit takes place, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
With Eddie as the last person to see them alive, he flees to Toontown in an attempt to clear his name instead of spending his life in the slammer. Roger Rabbit and his wife Jessica are bent on finding him and helping with the case, but wacky hijinks ensue on their search for Eddie, as well as 2 halves of a mystery forming between the 2 parties. So you get sort of Eddie, who's doing his own mystery, and Roger and Jessica, who are like picking up, they're like each missing pieces of the mystery, and they're picking up the opposite pieces. Plus you get a bunch of cartoon cameos again, and you spend more time in Toontown because you don't go into it much in the original Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. That's definitely like a cult classic that I feel like, it's like Space Jam, where you're like, why hasn't anybody done a sequel to it? And then you watch Space Jam 2 and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there were attempted sequels for Roger Rabbit for years, and it just like got tied up in all these rights issues.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it definitely is. I mean, the original is a classic, so it's a personal favorite of mine. So I want to see more.
My next one is a sequel to This Is the End. And it's not called This Is the Beginning. It's called In the Beginning. So where This Is the End is like a stoner comedy take on like Revelations, like the end times and stuff. Have you seen This Is the End, by the way?
Nope.
All right.
That's
what it is.
I know what happens. Yeah. I know how it ends too.
The world ends. This one would take place like during Genesis. It would be like about like the beginning of history and all that stuff, all the way up to the Noah flood. And that's like the big climax.
So you do like the Garden of Eden and that kind of... Okay.
And like Abel and Cain and Abel and all that stuff.
Seth Rogen and James Franco or what?
Sure, yeah. That'd be kind of funny. Jonah Hill's in it. Danny McBride. And they have to basically survive the flood. I just thought it'd be... Okay. I don't know. I would watch it. It'd be kind of funny. I just like that weird melding of like stoner humor and like biblical eschatology is like, why? Like, why would you think to do that? So I kind of want to see it with the Book of Genesis. It'd be funny.
Okay, I'm down. This is my pitch for, okay, I'm just going to read the description. You're going to pick up on it. It's been 7 years since the screw on Hogarth's nightstand disappeared. And while he thought it would bring back his iron friend, the giant never resurfaced. What's more, President Lyndon B. Johnson has begun ushering U.S. troops into Southeast Asia after the USS Maddox was found split in two with no survivors. Seeing the military wreckage as the covert doing of the Iron Giant, 18-year-old Hogarth enlists in the conflict to calm Vietnam and search for his friend, who he fears has now been enslaved by Vietnamese forces as a weapon of mass destruction.
Holy shit. Oh my God, the poor Iron Giant.
The Iron Giant is a gun.
Oh yeah, he does become a gun.
He becomes a gun. I mean, he does already in Ready Player One, but this is a direct continuation. This is, he was discovered by some foreign, I mean, you're again, you're commenting on those like fears of the time.
So you have like Hogarth like come up to him. He's like, Iron Giant, guns don't kill people. People kill people. And he's like, I am no longer a gun.
Something like that. Yeah. Whatever Vin Diesel feels like reading that day.
I am Groot. All right. My last one would be a sequel to The Princess Bride.
Okay.
And we call it The Princess Reborn because it would be about like the daughter of Wesley and Princess Buttercup.
Okay.
And it would be like, 20 years, let's say, after the original, and like the king, like the monarchy has been overthrown, which is good, but it's been put in like who's taken over is just this cynical businessman who runs like a corporatocracy kind of deal. He's
played
like
by Wallace Shawn.
It's like it's like it's like a Lorax kind of deal. He like placates the slaves, the wage slaves, they work, but they're wage slaves, and all that stuff. And he like placates them with like propaganda about the dread pirate Roberts, and he tells them like savages are like invading their land and stuff. And the daughter is like she's like a hopeless romantic type. Like she's really into like the stories her mom told her, but her dad is gone. He's like disappeared, and like she doesn't know where he's gone. So anyway, she goes like on this journey. I don't know how it gets started. I didn't think that far. Anyway, she goes on a journey, and she eventually like discovers that her dad like died like a meaningless, undignified death. This is Wesley, by the way. It like shatters her like romanticism to its core, and eventually she has to kind of like rally herself and the workers of Florin to overthrow their boss, and it becomes like a socialist revolution kind of deal. I say you get Inigo Montoya back, Buttercup back, Humperdinck, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And Fred Savage, who was the kid in the old one. And this one, he's
telling the story.
He's telling the story on a Kindle because it takes place in modern times. The kid's like, he like comes in and the kid's like watching like TikToks, and he's like, put down that old skibbity toilet machine, and then I'm gonna read you from my Kindle. Get some like new players in there. I think Jesse Plemons would be fun as like maybe a villain. Andy Samberg.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Kiki Palmer. The daughter is played by an unknown, though. I want her to be like someone who no one's
you
ever
want to build
of.
her career.
Yeah, like young. She needs to be young, so she still has that like doe-eyed, like romantic kind of side to her and everything to really sell it. I think it'd be fun. Keep the same sense of humor, and it's like earnest, but also still kind of sarcastic and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of interesting. I probably wouldn't see it though.
You're shattering the innocence of the original movie, and you still want it to have like the same tone of like the original.
Yeah, I mean, because I think the film itself, like the original Princess Bride itself, is like, I'm not gonna say shatters its own innocence, but it is like a smart alecky kind of take on like a fantasy movie. Like it's sarcastic and stuff, and I feel like it does shatter its own romanticism occasionally, and I think you can do that nowadays. I'm not saying like a dark, gritty Princess Bride
directed by James Mangold.
Yeah. But I'd be interested to see something like that. Alternately, you could do like a Kill Bill style sequel where you have Buttercup like slaying people, which would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, here's my last pitch, okay? This is Talladega Nights 2. Ricky Bobby takes Le Mans. With Jean Girard passing in a freak monster truck accident, Ricky Bobby flies his team out to France to compete in the prestigious 24 Hours at Le Mans and honor his rival turned friend with a first-place finish. However, Girard's ex-wife, the hot-headed Louise Francois, is still scorned from her lover running off to America to be with a man, and will be damned if she sees her late ex-husband honored. Will Ricky come out on top? And is Louise's interest in his best friend Cal anything more than a ruse to sabotage their chance at victory?
Sold.
And on my notes I wrote, shake and bake in French is c'est cuit et cuire.
Nice.
I don't know anything about French, but yeah, this is Ricky Bobby doing the Ford v Ferrari story where he goes to France and competes in the most prestigious race of all time.
Yeah, he like makes fun of the Tour de France somehow. Like he like sees them all on bicycles, and he's like, "Those are pussy cars" or something. You know, he just like makes fun. I haven't seen Talladega Nights since I was in middle school, so don't really know.
It's ripe for revisiting.
Yeah, I'm down. Will Ferrell probably would do it.
He probably would do it at this point. Yeah, he'll do anything. I'd watch it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you watched your own sequel pitch.
Well, anyway, that was our 10 top 10s, parts 1 and 2. If you listen back to back, I'm sorry. If you split up the time, I'm still sorry. We had a great time coming up with these pitches and listing out these movies. Gave me a lot to think about, especially in terms of bathroom scenes. Yeah. No, this was a lot of fun. And tiring. This has been our longest discussion by far. And I'm beat. But I will say this has been a lot of fun. Our happy 10th episode. This is great. I think you and I have talked about making some changes to the format to kind of freshen things up for listeners. We have some guests in the docket. In the queue, in the queue. So I have a new microphone that I think I know how to use now, so my audio should sound a lot better. And we're going to start recording in person as much as we can since we live close to one another. So things should be on the up and up. If you've been watching us or listening to us, this is a podcast, you listen to it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And I know it means a lot to me. I love the engagement, even when it's like rage bait memes about me hating on Chef. I love it. That's film culture now. It's film culture, yeah. We'll take it. And feel free to keep watching movies with us. Like we said earlier, slide up in the comments and the DMs and send us suggestions. We're always open to hear what you guys want to hear. And follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram at HardTicketPod, all lowercase, all one word, and Blue Sky at the same handle, although I've never done literally anything with that except create the account. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Jeff Blogus, Tristan. Yeah, I'm on Letterboxd, Tristan M. Period. Yeah, and I'm just, search Jeff Blogus, I'll come up. Thank you, Aaron Griffin, for mixing and mastering our theme song, and Jared Tadlock for designing our brand elements and keeping our podcast looking fresh. The next episode we have coming out brings Davis Rohr of The Six Shop into the studio to talk about 1917 versus Dunkirk. So that will be coming out next week. Thanks for listening in the meantime, and we are excited for 10 more episodes, 20 more episodes. I don't know how many we're going to do. We're just going to keep going until we run out of steam. Hard ticket forever, Morty. But until then, we will see you guys at the movies. Bye, guys. It's a hard ticket at the movies. Which one will you watch? Let's decide. It's a hard